Ward up, ladies and gentlemen, good evening, and welcome to Late Night Live number 63. Wow, for the first time, James was the first person in the chat. The first lurker among us. Welcome everybody. What up, James? What up, Nan? What up, Hody? What up, Marilyn? Right on. Sorry everybody that we are a little bit late today. I had to sub a couple tap classes. So I didn't finish till pretty late, and I rushed back home. Haven't had time to eat dinner yet, so that's unfortunate, but that's okay. I have tea, and I had a peanut butter and honey sandwich when I got home, and I will have dinner after the stream. Now, I'm not so sure that all my ducks are in a row at the moment, because of my rush getting home and turning all of my stuff on. I've decided we're gonna write on black paper today, which means I pull out the trusty homemade DIY ink mixer, which I haven't used in a couple days, so I'm actually gonna try something here. I want to see if, let's put this on autofocus. I'm curious if when the ink is sort of like it is, you can see it's separated. Now I'm curious if when it's separated, if this mixer can actually start it up. What's going on, UK Mike? I don't know what mukbang means, James. I don't know cool slang. Is it gonna start? No, I can hear it trying. Okay, the bottom is it's separated too much. It's been sitting for a couple days, so I'm going to give this a wee bit of a swirl. Swirl, 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 swirl. Oh, live stream where you eat. I could, I guess. I haven't put my food is cold. It's still in the fridge. My meal prep for the week is still cold, so I will leave the stream, or I will leave the camera in like an hour or so and plug it in so that it'll be warm when I finish stream. I can hold off. 5:30 in the morning. Wow, good morning, Mike. Wait, let's pop that little bubble. Wipe. Oh, I always forget that happens every time. Clean the edge because that's habit, and we want to do that every time. Now that I gave it a little swirl, we should be able to, oh yeah, the typhoon. Hopefully everybody is safe and well. Come on, little ink mixer, you can do it. We're having some slight starting issues. Oh, I think it's going there. It's going sweet. Yay. I have, not in this one, but I've updated my design in my brain of how I'm going to make this little ink stir even better. And then the other day, I got the idea where, like, my desk isn't super thick wood. I'm wondering if I can get a large, because this is built, it's just a computer fan, a little mini fan under there, hooked to a speed regulator. I'm wondering if I can get a larger fan so it spins strong with two really strong magnets. Like, these are not strong magnets, because if they're too strong, the pill will just stick to the bottom and it won't spin at all. But if I do two really strong magnets on a big fan, I don't know if it'll work. I think I can mount it under my desk and then have just like a place somewhere on my desk where I can just set my bottle or my jar on the desk and it will do it, so there's nothing on my desk. This is preliminary, but well, that's the cool thing, Marilyn, with computer fans. They are already built with like they're built silent. They're built with really good ball bearings. Like, this is the fan that's in here. I don't remember the name of the brand, but they are the best, quietest mini computer fans that exist, basically. A lot of people use them to cool their 3D printers and that type of stuff. So yeah, that's the plan though. I just was like, well, I can just mount one under my desk, and if the magnets are strong enough, then I should just be able to do it on my actual desk, which would be super cool. Then I wouldn't have to have this thing. So that's going now, so we'll put that out of camera. But yeah, that's added to my random experiments list. What up, Oja Sweeney? Welcome, welcome. All right. Whew. Sorry, I'm frazzled. I just kind of got home, ate a chocolate bar, ate a peanut butter and jam sandwich. Not peanut butter and jam, peanut butter and honey. And now we're rocking. YouTube app is telling me I'm live. I'm aware, YouTube app. Thank you very much. Okay, bust out the Kraken with, I believe it was between last week and this week where I thinned this out a little bit. It was a little bit thicker, but I wanted it to be a little thinner, so I didn't change this part. If I'm being honest, this flares a little more than I would like, but I'm used to it and it's comfortable. But I just brought down this bulb a little bit smaller. It was a little, slightly too bulbous. And what am I gonna write today? That is the question. I don't know. What should I write today? I figured I have no plan for today. I was going to do, there's a vintage piece that I want to replicate that I have the printing block of, and I was going to get it and show it and the original, and we were going to replicate it, but didn't have time to dig that out of the box of print block, so I don't actually know where it is, and I don't have the original at disposal right now, so today's going to be just a random no plan day. You guys can help me create the plan as we go. Yeah, we're just gonna sort of go with the flow today. And then next week we will do something special. I will plan it ahead of time. Well, it's already planned, but we'll put the plan into action. How doth the crocodile? Or crocodile, if you want to say it right, I suppose. Here we go. Once again, I'll ask just in case anything has changed. I don't think it has, but just let me know if the music is good and the volume and my voice and all of that type of stuff. We could do variations for a single majuscule. A CC Kanan night. Oh, you guys really wanna challenge me tonight, huh? How was Thanksgiving? Thanksgiving was good. Rather uneventful for me. I've just been working on personal projects here at home at my desk. So I didn't really do much for Thanksgiving. Last night, a buddy of mine stopped by and brought me, don't remember what it was now, but brought me just a little, some takeaway that he had from a Thanksgiving dinner he was at last night. But I didn't really do anything, which maybe that's lame, maybe that's boring, I'm not sure. I didn't do much though. Oh, let me write something and then we'll pull focus on that. Woo! That's a nice W to start us off. Alright, let's get you guys zoomed in and focused on that a wee bit better. Hey, Carlo. We could do some Kanan, I think. I too like Kanan. I personally find his forms very challenging because they are very round. Sort of in a similar realm as as what we were doing last week. As Taylor. Roundish forms. Oh, I love when I have a newly sharpened nib and it's just oh so nice and sharp and gives me an oh so nice and good hairline. It makes me oh so nice and happy. Whoop whoop. I have been getting ready and refining the whole sharpening technique. I know I've been promising a sharpening video for a long time now, and I do promise again, it is coming. I'm waiting in the mail for those little nail files that I got, those short ones, just so I have a fresh one for the video. Yeah, but my plan for the video is for it to be, it's going to be every writing sample and that happens in the whole thing. It's going to be one nib from the beginning to the end. So I'll record it as I'm sharpening it and all that kind of stuff, and walk everybody through the process. Oh, none. That's not good. What kind of gouache are you using? Maybe somebody else in the chat can give Nan some suggestions for her gouache. I apologize that I am not a gouache knowledgeable individual. I have very little experience with gouache. Anytime I've used it, it's worked fine. What I'm using right now is gouache, but it doesn't require anything mixed into it or anything like that. But I don't know any suggestions for things that make it better. Oh, we might have gone too fine there. There is a hairline there, but I'm not sure the camera can pick it up. That's maybe a little too fine. Alright, I'm gonna move my camera a little bit because I feel like, where do I want to write? I want to write right about there today. Yeah, I'm gonna move my camera just a little bit. Didn't have the time today to do all my preliminary movings. I think it's currently set up. I was taking a photo of something last week. I don't remember what anymore, but let me give a little tweak to the camera angle, and then we'll get back to it. Sorry. I'm not very organized today. Tighten so it doesn't move. That should hopefully be a good spot. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. My face is also crooked. There we go. No longer crooked. Mike, I believe so. This is the white I'm using is the St. Petersburg Masterclass gouache. I can find the jar right here. Reach. There is the jar of it. Oh, I'll hold it up here. Nope, can't see it there either. Autofocus. There it is. St. Petersburg Masterclass Gouache 1934 titanium white. This was sent to me by Mohamed, and it is, without question, my favorite white that I've ever written with. It's really easy to mix. I use the same technique as I use for walnut crystals. I fill my jar almost full with water, and then I slowly put in the paste and stir it really well, or in this instance, leave it on my stirrer for a while, test it, and if it's a little too light, add some more of the paste from the bottle, and it's yeah, easy to mix. It's a great white. It's a great white, but not the shark variety. A lot of people use gum arabic for gouache and for inks and whatnot. I'm the wrong person to ask because I legitimately have never used it. There are instances where I feel like it's essential for some styles of penmanship and calligraphy, but I personally have never successfully... Well, I've tried it a couple times and it didn't really make a difference for me, but that was because I was trying to add it to like blacklight ink and things like that. But I've never used gum arabic before. But that is the minority. Most people use gum arabic. Oh, what was that thing that I already forgot the line that Marilyn wrote that I was gonna write. How doth the crocodile? Or crocodile. How doth the crocodile? How doth the crocodile? Oh, did I just make a spelling mistake? I did. That's supposed to be an A. Darn it. Whoa! My arm slipped going into that L and I made a ginormous L. Oopsies. How doth the crocodile improve his shining tail and pours the waters of the Nile over every golden scale? How cheerfully he seems to grin! How neatly how neatly spreads his claws and welcomes little fishes in. I like that. That's fun. Saying it makes me feel like the caterpillar from Alice in Wonderland. When he's the one from the cartoon, who are you? Never smile at a crocodile. Oh, it is crocodile? Sweet. What is... I don't know this poem. Or parts of it are familiar, but what's it from? I feel like I should know that. But I like it. I do like it. It is from Alice in Wonderland. Oh, well, that's fun. Wait, who said it? Who says it in Alice in Wonderland? Is it the Mad Hatter, or is it the caterpillar on the mushroom? How doth the Maybe that's why I say it in that. I mean, that makes sense. I love that I said, oh, this reminds me of Alice in Wonderland. And it's from Alice in Wonderland. Wake up, Mike. Oops. Oops. Oops, ooh, ting, ting, walla, walla, bing, bang. My desk is really shaky today. More so than normal for some reason. Oops. Oopsies. It is the... That's ridiculous. Oh, it's ridiculous that I fully was like... This... I feel like I want to say this in the voice of the caterpillar, or when I say that poem, it makes me feel like the caterpillar from Alice in Wonderland. Duh, Mike. It is the caterpillar from Alice in Wonderland who says that poem. Wow. I have no real memory of the caterpillar from Alice in Wonderland saying that poem, specifically, but obviously I do. I'm just not aware of it. Weird. I had it all right, but I was all wrong. Or I was all wrong, but had it all right. Or something. Oh, thanks for hanging out for a little bit, Nan. Sorry that we started so late. I'm gonna raise my chair ever so slightly. Wonderful. I'm just gonna write a bunch of words today, I think. Oh, too light on that downstroke. Wonderful. Have a good one, Nan. Sleep well. It would be fun to do a whole handwritten version of Alice in Wonderland. We will not be doing that on stream, because that would be crazy long. Maybe I should do a series of quotes from Alice in Wonderland. Not in a live, but some pieces. That would be fun. Some of the poems or little mini stories. We're cutting out a little bit. Hey, Raul. Is it Raul or Rahul? Ooh, mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. I feel like I have to write that. I feel like young me would want me to write that. I'm gonna add a touch of water to my ink. Thank you very much, Carlo. My hand is feeling rather relaxed today, which I'm happy about. Rahul. Okay. Give me a thumbs up if that was right. Rahul? I think that's right. But what do I know? Sweet. Here we go. Mitochondria. Maybe we'll do the title. Get out of there, fiber. Perfect. Sweet. Maybe we'll do the title a little bit larger. Whoops. Way to not be on a baseline at all, Mike. And then, I don't know if I can do it at this angle without turning my paper, but I'll try. No baseline. Mitochondria. It's not my slant. Look at the slant. Whoopsies. I went from very slanted M to not so slanted and then to very whoopsies. This is an evolving word. Whoops. That's what happens when you don't move your paper, I guess. Or are focused more on a floating baseline than your slant. Whoops. Mitochondria. Didn't quite cross that enough. Mitochondria, the powerhouse of the cell. On baselines and angles that shift. Meh. There are more important things. Do. Mistakes happen. Make sure that you're not too hard on yourself when you make mistakes. If your slant line happens to shift, laugh at it. There are worse things. It's good to be critical of our work in all aspects of life, but if we get too critical, we don't want to be hard on ourselves, right? We got to give ourselves some slack. See if we can do a Kanan C here. Very with the round bottom. Short shade and round bottom. See what we can do. Ish. Mike, this is the rodeo. Where is my test sheet? It's around here somewhere. The test sheet went really well. Oh, do I have it? Can I reach it without knocking everything over? Here is the test sheet of the paper that I ordered. And it looks really nice. It's similar in weight. I think it's slightly lighter than Rhodia Black. But the hairlines I was getting were gorgeous. The lines I was getting were really good. We've got a little snippet of some poorly executed engrosser script down there. But the paper's great. So I'm going to be ordering, I think, 500 sheets of the black. I'm going to be getting 500 sheets of, I thought it was ivory, but it's a neutral paper, the same paper that's in the landscape journals. So I'm going to get 500 sheets of that. I'm going to get 250 or 500 sheets of the thick cardstock, because the thick cardstock, oh, where is it? I don't even know where it is. I lost it. Anyways, the thick cardstock carves really, really well. It's a good thickness. I can carve super deep without going through the other side, which is awesome. It's basically exactly what I hoped it would be. So I'm gonna order a bunch of that. The Conqueror paper I got is awesome. Conqueror paper is great, but to order it, I have to order like 2,500 sheets or 1,200 sheets or something like that, and I don't need that much. So I'm not going to be ordering the concrete. It's also a little bit more expensive. It is really good, and I hope I will maybe get some one day, but I don't feel like it's quite good enough, or I don't think the difference is big enough between another regular white to justify getting that much paper, because I don't need that much paper. I live in a very tiny home. I don't live in a tiny home. I live in a very tiny apartment, and I don't have a lot of storage space. I can't fit the things I already have. So soon, probably tomorrow, I will be placing a paper order. Ooh, that pea turned out very beautiful. Right on. Pink or red? Not really my style. I am gonna order some gray. It's like a light gray. It's lighter than the Rhodia gray, so I think it's light enough that it will look a little better than the Rhodia gray with black ink, but I think it will also look like really nice. It won't be super contrasty, but I think white ink on the light gray should look really good. I didn't get a sample of the light gray, but even if it's the same kind of paper as the ivory paper I like, so even if it's, I mean, it just has to be passable for a color of ink, and I'll use it for correspondence or something. Ordering a whole bunch of paper, that's the job. That's tomorrow morning's job. To spend some money. I have to order leather maybe tomorrow as well. I have ran out of black leather. There's not two M's in tomorrow, right? Oh, ladies and gentlemen, I gotta learn to spell one of these days. One of these days, Mike, you're gonna have to learn to spell. No, just one M. You were right. I've been working on my French lately, and wow. I make a lot of spelling mistakes, but I think some of my spelling mistakes come from my French stuff, potentially. Yes, 2 R's. That part I remember. Whoa, what happened to that oval? That's unacceptable. Oh, it feels nice to practice. What up, George? I think most of the time we use the British English, like, or British and because of French influence and whatnot. Like for color we use OUR. For like writing a check we use QUE instead of CK. I remember so often in the US when I would get a check, or anytime I was trying to write the word check, even when I'm in Canada, it's seen as, it's always tells me it's a spelling mistake, even though it's not a spelling mistake. But I think most of the time we lean towards the British or French spelling of things. Here, I'm going to leave camera for one moment because I need to blow my nose. I apologize. I came in really quick from outside to start the stream, and the temperature change made me need to blow my nose. So I will be right back. Hang tight, write something cool. I'll let you guys look at my off-angled mitochondria while I'm gone. I have returned. Sorry about that. I just got a text message from my buddy Devin, who was lurking in the live stream and is giving me a hard time for leaving the live stream. So there's one lurker that we got hanging out today. Hello, Devin, if you're still there. All right. It's fun in preparing to film my nib sharpening video. I've been sharpening a bunch of nibs, obviously, and getting them to really fine points. And every time my materials get like finer and better, it really pushes me to want to improve. I was actually just telling Kahlo the other day. We were texting the other day, yesterday, today, can't remember. And I was saying, I think it was with Kahlo, it's been a while since I felt growth, and that doesn't impact my like love for writing and sitting and practicing and whatnot. But like when you're starting off anything, you see growth and you get better and you look back at your old stuff. But at this stage in my penmanship practice, the visible difference in my writing day to day is much less, and I haven't felt growth in a little while. So I'm glad that these spicing up my tools has pushed me to try to relax my hand and smooth out my movement a little bit more. Catch a cold? I don't do that. Getting sick is a waste of time and energy. I prefer to just stay healthy all the time. I guess that could be an R too. I don't know if I like the balance of it quite as much. I don't know, what's a good R word? I wasn't planning to write an R when I wrote this. What's a good R word, everybody? The first R word in the chat, I'm gonna write. I mean, I would assume, Kahlo, that it works on old nibs. Because really all you're doing is refining the point. So, like, the big thing that, I mean, eventually, Republic. Alright, sounds good. Eventually, like, the nib's gonna lose a bit of its spring and things like that, so it can't fix that. But if it's just like a rough tip, you're just refining the tip. So I see no reason why an old nib can't be sort of endlessly resharpened. You get to the point where, like with modern nibs, where if you're gonna have to sharpen it all the time and things like that, then it may not be worth it all the time. But which is why I'm trying to make the process as easy and just like quick and just a thing that you can do before you start writing. So it's not like not a huge learning curve or anything that's really daunting. Whoops, that C is too tall. Republic. Well, yeah, I was surprised. I mean, this nib, I'm obviously using white ink today, but when I got home from my Ampith this year, for no real reason, but I just started using Iron Gall ink a lot more, and I've pretty much only used Iron Gall ink when I'm not using white ink since I've been home, and I've been writing quite a bit since I've been home, and I've used basically 1, maybe 2 nibs since I got home, and I've just been continuously refining the same one, and it writes now, I would say basically better than it did when I started writing with it, when I got home from my Ampith, because I'm getting better at sharpening and refining the tip. So long as the spring is still there, it makes nibs, or it can make nibs, last a whole lot longer. Ooh, that was an abrupt shade. Ew, not the best L's. Longer lasting. Libs. Just because I wanted to write another L. I would say that this nib, the way it is right now, gives me a finer line when I'm using black ink than most any other nibs that I own. Which is why I'm writing with black paper and white ink today, because if I wrote with my McCaffreys that I've been using, some of the hairlines, the camera would have a really hard time picking them up, so they won't look nearly as good on video. I will probably do the nib sharpening video in black and white as well. I mean, I guess they're all black and white. In white on black. I don't write in color. Everything I write is black and white. That's a long time, Marilyn. Wow. Yeah, that's one thing, George, I used to do a lot. I would write with nibs, and when I started losing the like really fine, beautiful hairline, I would stop using them with my walnut or black ink, and I would use them for white. Because I wasn't striving for the crazy thinnest. You could get away with a slightly broader tip when you were writing with white ink. Welcome back, Oja Winnie. But that's sort of what I do. I keep all of my nibs. Like, I think I've showed this one on video before. This little, where is it? This little guy, which is 2 layers of, that's all, let's get focus, all Leonard principles in there that are no longer good for when I was using them. They weren't giving me good hairline, so this was nib timeout. There's a whole lot of nibs in this timeout. Most of these are all Leonard principles actually, that just sort of lost their point or things like that. So I don't think I've ever actually thrown out a nib in the history of doing penmanship and calligraphy. I maybe thrown out like a couple. Anytime that I broke a tine off, that one probably got thrown in the garbage. But I don't really throw them away. They go into containers like that, and then potentially to get thrown in the garbage at a future date, or to be refined, or who knows. But I could sharpen them, yeah. And those are, it was an older batch of Leonard principles, so I think they were a little bit more flexy than the current run of them. I have a theory with the Hunt 101. I'm curious. I don't know if they'd be willing to, but when you compare it to, say, a Zenarian Fine Writer or something like that, which it's modeled off of, the breather hole on the 101 is bigger than the original Zenarian Fine Writer or Jalop Principality. I'm wondering, and that when it's bigger, it makes the point where it flexes right here slightly thinner. I'm wondering if they were able to shrink the breather hole a little bit, if it would just add a slight more spring back. We'd still get the amount of flexibility. I don't think it would restrict us in flexibility, because that's what I love about the 101. But it might, maybe it would give a little bit more spring back. I don't think it needs a ton more spring, but it would make it match, I think, the Zenarian Fine Writer a little more. Raul, you want my busted dead Leonard principles? Maybe it seems silly, I probably won't do this, but anybody want to do a giveaway for a box of, that's probably like 100 or 200, maybe it's probably 100, probably almost a gross in there, used Leonard principles? Used nibs here, get your used nibs here. Oh, I cut off that exit stroke so fast. Yeah, like those lines, that curve right under there, that is like, I mean, you can't get any finer than that. That's the ink is flowing beautifully, so there's no like skips in the ink at all. It's just like light gray, beautiful hairline coming around. That's what I live for. Oh, hello, Mum. Foreign language? I don't speak, well, I guess I do speak a foreign language, but welcome. I just finished teaching teaching 2 tap classes, so I'm in like tap dance energy at the moment. And it's slightly cold in my apartment. I have the heat turned on, which is silly to have the heat turned on this early in the season. But I have the heat turned on, but it's cold in here, so I'm uppity a little bit. Oh, nib speak. I suppose that's kind of another language. Ugh. I'm having trouble coming out of that shade lately. Nib speak. Winnie? Oh, is that what we're calling Oja Winnie now, Carlo? I think the very first time I ever said Oja Winnie's name on the stream, I think I just called her... Did I call you Oja? Or Swinny? I can't remember anymore. Not Winnie. Alright. Noted. We'll put Winnie in the same box as twerking. They'll both go in the never box, and then we'll just put that away on a shelf. I'm loving this pea today. Speak properly. Actually, my mom does Zentangles lately, and her Zentangle today, yesterday, not sure which one, or recently, was lettering. It was a little, dare I call it a monogram? DWL. For her initials. I don't believe my mom has ever done calligraphy officially. It might tie into some of her coloring and Zentangles and stuff she does now, but never when I was younger. I was into calligraphy and stuff when I was younger, but my mom was an artist when she was younger, but I don't know if she ever dabbled in calligraphy. Twerk is in the someday one day box. I'm not so sure about that, Oja Winnie. Not so sure. A never box. It's in my never box. I'll put Winnie and twerking in the never box. And unfortunately, I think some of our lurkers are in the never coming out of lurker mode box. That's true, Odriswinny. That is very true, DWL files. What up, Brolin? Welcome, welcome. Whoa, I forgot what shade I was doing. I was going into a stem, and then I decided to go into a U shade, so it became a hybrid that went way below the baseline. Oops. Let's do that again. Leon. Is Leon in the imaginary box? I choose to believe that Leon was here last week, even though you guys seem to think he was... No, James, don't start. He exists, okay? He's probably here right now, watching, drinking his bourbon, riding along with us, and chuckling. I'm gonna give him heck if he comes to Iampith next year. It was pretty funny when James did that. I won't lie, I did get a little bit excited when I saw the name pop up in chat. Whoops, that's supposed to be an S on the end there. Ugh. What is happening with my shade there? Running too far to the right. Don't give him ideas, Carlo. Your work wasn't in vain, James. It was good. The effect was good. The unfortunate part about that, last week's video doesn't have chat replay because my address was in it and I had to blur out my address in one point of the video, and when you edit a video like that, YouTube takes off the chat replay. So wait, who in here? I'm curious. I'm gonna do let's do a poll. Oh, if I could spell, that would be great. I'm curious. And you could be honest, it's anonymous, nobody knows. Wait, where'd my poll go? Come on, poll. I made one. There it is. For anybody who doesn't know what a Finsta, it's a fake Instagram account that you use to lurk and things like that. 67% have Finsta accounts already. Oh, I probably could, James. The only... I'd have to turn monetization off if you were going to request things that weren't royalty free, which I could do that. I'd have to set that up. Maybe I'll set that up and we'll do, maybe next week we'll do a People's Choice audio channel. No is winning, 67%. I do not have a Finsta account, but I always hear people talk about their fake Instagram accounts. Nice, George. Nice. I have one of those, but it's just 2, because I'm a Gemini. We have 67% liars. There's no need to lie. It's an anonymous count. Maybe people don't have Finstas. Oh, let's work on this compound curve with a stem shade. Because that F I did up there was pretty poor. Gotta make this shorter. That's a little better. It's a good shape. Now can we make it thicker? Well, that just got longer. It didn't get any thicker. Let's try to get it a little bit thicker. I always have trouble getting this one nice and thick. It's a challenge, this one. Nope. Nope, we're getting potbelly shades on those two. When we try to go bigger, we get potbellies. We'll end the poll. Canadian Thanksgiving was chill. I mean, I didn't really do anything, so Canadian Thanksgiving was me smiling, seeing a lot of my friends posting photos and videos with their families and showing the things that they are thankful for. I didn't do anything really special for Thanksgiving. I was just chilling at home, working on some personal projects. As per usual. Gotta thicken up that shade. I think I think this about Facebook accounts as well. When people have like private accounts, I think if somebody follows me, that should grant me permission to see who they are. And with Facebook, the same applies. If somebody friend requests me, that should grant me permission to see their account. because if their profile picture and the pictures that they have that I can see in a non-public profile, if they're not of them, like if they have a family or whatnot, and it's a picture of their kids, I don't know who the heck they are. But I don't usually approve people that aren't friends of mine or people I've met in person or people I actually know on Facebook. And then with Instagram, I just feel like if somebody's gonna friend request or somebody's gonna add me, that should grant me permission to see them. Bad Pylon is not a fake Instagram account. That's his Instagram account. He has his own. He doesn't use it very much though. I have 4 Instagram accounts, I think. I don't use the other 3 though. So they're not Finst accounts. They're just accounts I don't use because they're affiliated with other things. I like to believe that one day the Bad Pylon will post more. He comes and goes. Oh, it's cold in here. Chilly. I want to put on a hoodie, but I also don't want to put on a hoodie. I don't like writing with a hoodie on. Why can't I make this shade big ever? It's alright, off camera. Those were getting better. That's not a Finsta account. Because the Bad Pylon doesn't stalk anybody. I no longer speak Fahrenheit, Marilyn. I've converted back to Celsius. Whoa. Alright. I think because I'm writing close to the bottom of this page, it's messing me up. Let's clean the nib and get a new sheet of paper. If they plan to end Finsta? Interesting. What's going on, Nikki? Here, I'm gonna continue reading your message once I get a new sheet of paper. The Book of Faces. I primarily use my Facebook is how I communicate with most of my friends from back home. Friends I graduated with, friends from my hometown, my family. A lot of those people aren't really interested in dance or penmanship world. So my there we go, we're back. Glad to have you here, Nikki. What's going on with my face cam? I bumped a cable by accident. Let me fix it real quick. Oh, no, don't connect via Wi-Fi. Connect via... That's better. too bright. Bring that down a little bit. That's better. Okay. Sorry about that. I mean, I love Pinterest. I don't post any of my own stuff on Pinterest. I like scrolling through Pinterest. Pinterest is one of my things I do before I go to bed at night. I have some boards that I go to, and it's my inspiration that I like to see before I crash into dreamland, I guess. But yeah, Facebook is just for, personal connections with my friends from back home. And it's pretty much only people that I know in person that I've met before. Instagram is anybody and everybody. But yeah, I feel like if somebody friend requests me, I should be able to see who they are. But oftentimes you are not allowed to do that. Alright, we are working on that compound curve shade. Not smooth enough coming out of there. My headphones are hurting my ears today for some reason. The new one? James, the new account. Wait. Zaner account. The one that's been like reposting, just like the past week, reposting Penman's work, like Brian and everybody, just like samples of everybody's work. What Zaner account? I know Brian has two. He has iCursive and Zanarian Penman. Do you mean Zanarian College? Like, Brian runs the Zanarians one. Then there's the Zanarian College one. I don't know who runs that one. And then there's the new one that's been posting, Modern Zanarian Penman. And I don't know who that is. When it first started posting, a part of me wondered if it was David Grimes, but I don't know who's running it. I haven't asked. Not sure. Has anybody asked them? Maybe they would say. No need to keep it a secret. Whoa, why'd I do that exit stroke so up? I don't know who runs the Zanarian College one. I feel like I may have had an idea at some point, but I no longer remember. Because wasn't I don't think it was Saeed. Somebody was running one of those for a while. I don't know. No idea. Educational other language for you tonight, Mom. Good night. Sweet dreams. Gotta fix that shade. Come on, fix it. It's just not strong enough. I can't figure out why. It's a little bitter. I do like that one as well, James. Who runs that one? There was also an account back in the day that it shared and only posted swear words in really beautiful penmanship and calligraphy. That's a fun one. And then Skylar had his meme account for a while. Just Winnie, I don't remember. But they would share. I think it was primarily like a bunch of artists' work got shared on there, but it was only swear words. Only bad words in calligraphy. Oh, Marilyn's birthday's coming up. That's exciting. Have you registered your birthday on the Discord? Good. Ooh, that's a fun beat. I don't do the second loop on the bottom all that often. I got excited and ruined my exit oval, but meh. Merry Birthmas. No, I actually really love writing swear words. I write swear words a lot when I'm practicing. Basically, every time I make a mistake, I write a swear word in beautiful ornamental penmanship when I make a mistake. I don't speak swear words a lot on stream, not because I am against swearing or anything like that, but when I teach dance and when I teach penmanship, in general, that gets muted out, I guess, or it filtered out. That's a better word for it. I just don't swear on camera very often. I'm trained because kids might watch this video. Younger ones might watch it, and they don't need to hear me swearing. That would make sense, James. That's just Hodie's account we're talking about. Whoops. You scream at people in ice cream flavors? What does that even mean? Hey, what up, Martha? Welcome, welcome. I saw, Martha, you did, how long did you end up doing your warm-up live today? I saw you were live earlier. I tuned in for a little bit before my tap classes started. Watching you doing your warm-ups and drill practice with, unless my memory is wrong, was it a collaboration with Ferris Wheel Press? Inks? Oh, fudge. That makes sense. Son of a Preludes and Cream. Probably a little too... That doesn't make any sense. One of my favorite things to ask strangers is their favorite ice cream flavor. I love asking people their favorite ice cream flavor. I like saying you can tell a lot about somebody by their favorite ice cream flavors. Then people overthink it and stuff, but it's just really fun to ask, and then people get really serious about thinking their favorite. Mint chocolate cookie dough. That's a lot going on there. I need to try some Ferris Wheel Press inks. I never have tried any of them before. Well, that's good, Martha. That means you should be pretty darn warmed up. That's become one of my favorite connections. A descender stroke into an ascender stroke. I almost always use the descenders like so, the shortened ones that don't loop down. But I've been really loving, just lately, descender strokes and doing descender strokes into ascender strokes. It's a fun connection, and I really enjoy it. It should be harder than I feel like it is, but it just flows nice. Haha, I'd say I should try different inks, but needing inks is the last. I mean, I don't need inks, basically. I have too many as well. I use like 3 jars, and I have too many. I have a giant drawer full. And all my fountain pen inks and stuff as well. But I'm simple with inks I use. I don't use that many. A good black, a good white, and I'm good. What are my views on Iamphith and becoming a master penman? My views on Iamphith is, I love Iamphith. I think Iamphith is great. I've been a member since 2014. I think I've been attending the conferences since 2015, maybe? I think 15 was my first one, 14 or 15. Can't remember exactly. Whenever we were in Louisville. I like Iampith. It's a great community. I think what I like most about Iampith is where it came from and how it got started. It was basically a group of some ornamental penmen that essentially just started getting together. There's more reasons than that, but they just started getting together and meeting up and sharing, and then they had a conference, so they had a reason to sort of all get together, all these educators from across North America. And then its history with the archives and ornamental penmanship and things like that, I really like, because it's the only real association that has that history, and a lot of the history that is, I don't want to say lost, because it exists in the archive, but, and I was telling this to a bunch of people at Iampith this year, sitting around late at night. This is a really, I think right now is a really exciting time for like Iampith and penmen in general, ornamental penmen and whatnot, because, and this is nothing against previous generations, but I feel like penmen right now are closer than we've ever been to replicating the work that's in the old scrapbooks and the work that happened in the late 1800s, in what is called the golden age of penmanship. And not to say that work prior to now hasn't been gorgeous and beautiful, but there's a strong community of people that are getting into movement writing, getting into traditional techniques, traditional writing, and are getting really good at it. So it's cool. It's a really cool thing to see. So I mean, a lot of that exists because of Iampith and keeping that history alive and things like that. To me, the convention itself is a social exercise. I like it because I get to hang out with my penmanship friends and make new penmanship friends. When it comes to becoming a master penman, it's I think it's a great goal. I think it's something that's really cool to strive for. It's a time-consuming process to go through the certificate program. I think the program is set out in a cool way. Like I said, it's time-consuming, but it's not easy, and you have to earn it. I would, and I've always sort of geared my students and people I talk to I've encouraged them to not treat like master penman necessarily as a goal. It's a good goal, and it can be a goal, but the way I look and treat penmanship, it's less of the goal and more of my whole fall in love with the journey, fall in love with penmanship, fall in love with studying it, fall in love with the calligraphy styles and learning them and figuring out the ins and outs of all of them. And if you do that and you like those things, then each year you can apply for certificates and acquire certificates or learn what you need to do to improve. Like, you get your stuff judged, you can improve these scripts, and then when you keep learning, eventually you get to the point where you could get a master's certificate, and that's super cool. But I don't think, I'm not title driven when it comes to being a master penman. I would like the skill of a master penman more so than the title is important to me. But if you ask me if I would like the title of master penman, obviously the answer to that is yes. I would love to be MrMGWard master penman, and maybe I will one day, maybe I won't. That's, again, less important to me. For me, I want the skill and the knowledge of all of the styles, because I think they're cool. So there's my long-winded response of my view on Iampith in the master program, or the master penman, certificate program. What's my favorite black ink? It's a good question. I think my favorite black ink ever is Blot's Iron Gall ink. I'm super shivery. I feel like it just got colder in here. Shivery all of a sudden. I think Blot's is my favorite. I don't use it very often, and I think my jar is old and not very good anymore. Unfortunately, I didn't use it all up, but it's flows really well. It gives incredibly gorgeous hairlines. When the bottle is new, it can be tough to write with because it goes on pretty much clear onto the page, which can be a bit of a challenge. But yeah, blots. I think I would have to call blots my favorite ink. That is a very much slanted. That's a very steep slant. And then, like, I really like McCaffrey's. I like Walker's Copperplate ink. I've heard really good things about Fox and Quill's Iron Gall inks. I've never used them. They're another one that I really should try. But I've heard a lot of good things about them. I just don't personally have experience with them. Pretty much, though, if your nibs are sharp and your hand is light, most inks do a pretty good job. I'm not a fan of Sumi, I will say that. I don't like Sumi ink, never have, probably never will. I use it. I use it when I teach in person a lot because it's easy to see on a camera and stuff like that. But I'm not a big fan of Sumi. Don't really know why, I just don't like the way it flows down onto my pen. Ooh, Fox and Quill's brown. I've used Ink Sticks Colo, but what my little speaking error holds true. Ink stinks. I've used ink sticks before. I have some decently good ones, and I have an Inkstone and stuff. But my issue is I like to make my big jars of ink. Like, you guys see me always using the full jars. And when I do that with ink sticks, stick ink gets really smelly after a very short amount of time. So it didn't work for me. Like, I filled a jar with it. I made enough to fill a whole jar, and I was using it, but then within like a very short amount of time, it just got so stinky. And then, yeah, I'm not against stick ink. I like stick ink. I quite enjoy the process of grinding the ink. I saw, Carlo, that you had a story. You were grinding ink very recently, but it gets pretty stinky. I know I think there's chemical that you can put in it to sort of combat that a little bit. Oh, Fox and Quills doesn't make black anymore? Why? Uh-oh. I think I stopped and talked too much. I lost all my hairlines here. I must have dry ink on my nib. Add perfume. And I guess the tough part too with stick ink is there are so many different kinds of ink sticks out there. Expensive ones, cheap ones, there's a bunch. And I've tried cheap ones that work decently well. And I then have expensive ones that I sort of invested a little bit more in because I thought they were going to be better. Now that I had known how sticks work and stuff like that, and they were just garbage, really, or they wouldn't darken up, no matter how much I ground into them. So, getting the right stick. I wish I could get my hands on the sticks that Mataraz used to use. There are advertisements for them, and he talks about what they are, but tough to find. Yeah, Carlo, Mom had told me that as well. It was I was chatting with him a lot when I was grinding my stick ink. But it just kind of turned me off. Like, the jar started to smell really bad, and then the lids that I used in that jar, like, I use glass jars so they could be clean, no problem, but the lids still smell. I have to keep them. I don't use them for ink now because they're stained with odor. So I would be down to use stick ink again. I would like to get a round inkstone like you have, Kahlo. I don't mind my inkstone, it's not bad, but a round one would be cooler. Where, like, I have the one that reservoir on one side and you grind on this side, where I would kind of like it all in one. I think that would be better for me. Oh, that entry oval. Whoops. I turned out okay. Shade's a little high on it, but yeah, rotten eggs, basically. Rotten, I don't know, rotten, just rotten. Just a really gross smell. And I remember when I ground it, because so many people were like, oh, stick ink smells. And I think some stick ink doesn't smell very good even when you're grinding it. Like, it has a unique odor, but I liked the smell of the sticks that I was using. But within a very short amount of time in the jar, it got really stinky. But it's not really conducive to the way I like to mix a whole bunch of ink and then use it till it's lower and then refill it all again at once. It's gotta, like, grinding the sticks though, Martha, it's like meditative. It's so enjoyable. Well, here, Kahlo, you gotta tell me which are your favorite ink sticks, or which give you the best lines for, like, what I do to get nice light fine hairlines and black shades. What's your recommended stick for that? And I'll give them another shot. See, that's not the smell that I experienced, Martha, after like a week after I ground it, was not that. It was rotten. It was disgusting rotten. Like rotten eggs. Rotten. Malodorous, that is a fun word. Ojaswini, it means stinky, essentially. Malodorous. Okay, now if I can do an I and finish it right where that S ended, we can create a trick stroke. Right there. Okay. Cross your fingers. Yeah. Not exactly. Malodorous ink. I will have to try that then, Carlo. I'll show you the ones that I've used. I don't remember which was the good one or which was the bad one. All I know is the expensive one was the bad one. Where are they here? They're somewhere in this giant ink drawer down here. Here, I think this was the... I think this was the cheap one. Come out. That one. I don't know what it says, but it gave me, if this is the cheap one, gave me pretty good results, and I enjoyed the whole grinding process. And then the other one, this was, I think, the more expensive one. It comes in a fancy, oh, it's broken. It cracked. But this one is a dragon. And says that on the back. But it, much worse. As far as, I mean, it gave a nice line, but it was a very, very fine gray. This one worked really good. I would use it again if it didn't smell so bad after... Like, if I was doing, say, Chinese calligraphy or Japanese calligraphy or something, if I was... Let's say I was going to do some Chinese calligraphy, holding the brush, and I was going to do all of the things and the strokes. Whoa, this is... very stiff. I haven't never used it. But if I was gonna do proper like Chinese calligraphy, then I would like grind in the stone, use it right from there. You don't have to put it into like a jar so that you can dip into it, and it will be good. But for ornamental penmanship, I need it to be in a jar that's deep enough. Oh no! That's really bad news. Ladies and gentlemen, I gotta end this stream right here. Sorry. I just spilled ink on my power bar. So, yeah, I gotta end this stream. I'm really sorry. I will talk to you guys later. That was bad news. My lights went off already. Sorry. Bye. Talk to you later. I'm really sorry. Crap. Whoops.